invite Dr. Pranati to speak upon the biochemical markers of preeclampsia.
Good afternoon to all. Today my topic of discussion is biochemical predictors of preeclampsia. As you know, preeclampsia is defined as new onset of hypertension and proteinuria after 20 weeks of gestational age in a normotensive woman. It is a multi-system disorder of pregnancy. The prevalence is 3 to 8% of pregnancy worldwide. It's major cause of maternal perinatal morbidity and mortality. Two forms of preeclampsia are there: early onset and late onset. Early onset occurs before 34 weeks of gestation. It accounts for 12 to 20% of total preeclampsia. It is the most severe form, and it is a major cause of maternal and fetal mortality. It is mainly of placental origin. Late onset preeclampsia starts after 34 weeks of gestation. It is the most common form of preeclampsia. Coming to the pathogenesis of preeclampsia, preeclampsia is mainly of placental origin because preeclampsia occurs only in presence of placenta and it results after the delivery of the placenta. In normal pregnancy, cytotropoplastic invasion occurs in 2 stages. At around 10 to 12 weeks, the decidual segments of the spiralatory involves, and at around 15 to 16 weeks, the myometrial segments of the spiralatory involves. In preeclampsia, the cytotropoplastic invasion is impaired. Mainly, the myometrial segment is affected. Because of failed tropoplastic invasion, the spiralatory becomes narrow, leading to placental hypoxia that might trigger the tissue oxidative stress. In addition to placental hypoxia, there is imbalance in between the pro-angiogenic factor and anti-angiogenic factor. There is upregulation of the anti-angiogenic factor and downregulation of the pro-angiogenic factor. That also causes endothelial dysfunction. Then all the clinical symptoms of preeclampsia appears, that is hypertension, proteinuria, liver dysfunction and cerebral edema. Coming to screening of preeclampsia, although there is no proven effective method for prevention of preeclampsia, screening of preeclampsia in early pregnancy is very useful. These are maternal risk factor, urinary Doppler, biochemical markers and neonatal pressure. Maternal risk factors are previous history of preeclampsia, maternal age and ethnicity, chronic hypertension, renal disease, obesity, gestational diabetes mellitus, multiple pregnancy, hydrated formula and chromosomal abnormality. The ideal biomarker, my topic is biochemical markers of preeclampsia. These are mainly placental growth factor, pregnancy associated placental protein A, soluble FMS like tyrosine kinase A, tyrosine kinase 1, ratio of placental growth factor and soluble FMS like tyrosine kinase, soluble endoglin, placental protein 13, fetal hemoglobin, vascular endothelial growth factor, alpha-1 microglobulin, neutrophil, gelatinous associated lipokalin. Out of all these, first 3 are more important because these are available commercially in the market, and these can be extensively studied, and they are good predictors for preeclampsia. Effective screening of preeclampsia can be done by combination of maternal factors, biochemical factors and biophysical factors in the first trimester like aneuploidy screening. Placental growth factors, it is a protein, it is produced by placenta. It has a key role in angiogenesis and placental vasculature, especially in embryogenesis. Along with vascular endothelial factor, placental growth factors helps in angiogenesis. It has been seen that lower placental growth factor at 11 to 13 weeks of gestation in pregnancy destined to develop preeclampsia. It predicts both early and late preeclampsia, but more specific for early preeclampsia. Delphi Express PLGF-SA identify the women at high risk for preeclampsia as a single marker. Prediction is around 53% with a false positive rate of 5%. Coming to pregnancy associated protein A, it is a glycoprotein synthesized in placenta. Maternal plasma concentration increased throughout the pregnancy. Decreased level of placental pregnancy associated protein A in first trimester have been associated with increased risk of preeclampsia. At term, affected with preeclampsia, the value will increase. As a single biochemical marker, the prediction rate is 20%. Along with Doppler, the prediction rate is 70%. This graph showing lower value of placental growth factor and pregnancy-associated plasma protein in preeclampsia. This study shows combined screening with placental growth factor, pregnancy-associated plasma protein A, utinatrial Doppler, and mean arterial pressure. Around detection rate is 93% with a false positive rate of 5% for early onset preeclampsia, and the detection rate is 37% with a 5% false positive rate for late onset preeclampsia. Soluble FMS like tyrosine kinase 1 is a mainly anti-angiogenic factor. It results from alternative slicing of FLT receptor mRNA, which is an endothelial receptor for vascular endothelial growth factor and placental growth factor. It is usually elevated in preeclampsia and first trimester. Level correlates with the time of clinical onset and partly with the disease severity. Then soluble endoglin, it is also a anti-angiogenic factor. It is a co-receptor for transforming growth factor. It modulates angiogenesis and regulates vascular tone. Serum level of soluble endoglins are stable in normal pregnancy, but in preeclampsia this level increased. This is the graph showing the increased value of soluble FMS like tyrosine kinase 1 in preeclampsia. In placental growth factor, the ratio of placental growth factor and soluble FMS like tyrosine kinase 1 is a promising biochemical marker, but it is in second trimester mainly. The prediction rate is 89%. Then placental protein 13 also, the value decreased in first trimester in women who will develop preeclampsia later on. The prediction is around 80%. Along with Doppler, the prediction is 90%. Then others, fetal hemoglobin and alpha-1 microglobulin, their value also increased at 10 to 16 weeks of gestation. And cystatin C also is a protease inhibitor, but it is not useful only single marker. It can be useful in combination with other markers. Neutrophil gelatinase associated lipocalin, it is a matrix protein of specific granules of neutrophil. It is also elevated in preeclampsia and first and second trimester. To summarize, no individual biochemical or biophysical measures have made the criteria for screening test. First trimester screening is better for preterm preeclampsia. Then screening by both biophysical, biochemical and maternal is superior to screening by either single method. The risk calculation can be done by biochemical markers, biophysical markers and maternal factor. Thank you.
The last